where should a woman pray Taraweeh? I think we've partly answered this question. At home or in the masjid? If she prays at home, can she lead the congregation or a congregation of women?
It's mentioned in Targib, hadith number 336, where the beloved Prophet said that the best mosque for a woman is her innermost room, her innermost chamber. And the best place for a woman to pray is her inner room. That's the best. And in another hadith of Musnad Ahmad, volume number 6, hadith number 27202, which also mentioned in Targib, hadith number 335, once a lady asked the Prophet, I would love to pray with you, the lady said. And the Prophet replied, I know you'd love to pray with me, but your prayer in your inner room would be better than praying in your house. The prayer in your house would be better than praying in the courtyard. Your praying in your courtyard would be better than praying in the mosque where you live, where around your people. Your praying in the mosque where you live, around your people, is better than praying in my mosque. That means for a woman, the best prayer is the inner room.
MashaAllah.
And the way is hadith that praying in your room is better than the house better than the courtyard better than the mosque in your area, then mosque in your better than the mosque of the Prophet. Though the Prophet said, it's mentioned in Sahih Muslim, volume number 2, hadith number 3210, that praying in my mosque is equivalent to 1,000 prayers. That means if you pray in the mosque of Muhammad, it's equal to praying 1,000 times in any other mosque. But this hadith is mainly referring to the men, because no two Sahih hadith can contradict. So this hadith mainly refers to the men. For the women, the best place is the house, especially her inner room. And there's a hadith in Sunan Abu Dawud, volume number 1, book of Salah, hadith number 591. Warqa, may Allah be pleased with her.
Ameen.
She comes to the Prophet and says that, I would like to have a muaddin in my house. And the Prophet gave her permission. The next hadith, Sunan Abu Dawud, volume number 1, book of Salah, hadith number 592. It says that Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, he went to a house after appointing the muaddin, and he asked her to lead the prayer in congregation, and the women in the house, they joined her. And the narrator says that he saw the muaddin, he was the old person. It's further mentioned in a Sahih hadith of Bihaqi, hadith number 1922. Hazrat Aisha, may Allah be pleased with her, who is the wife of the Prophet, she says that she led the congregation of the women. She was the imam, but she stood in the middle of the row. And another hadith in Musannaf ibn Abi Shayba, hadith number 4953, say Salma, who was also the wife of the Prophet, may Allah be pleased with her.
Ameen.
Even she said that she was the imam of a congregation of women, and she was standing in the center of the first row. So here it indicates that the women, they can pray, but it is better for them to pray in the inner room, better than going in the mosque. But they are permitted to go in the mosque, as we discussed earlier yesterday, that praying in the mosque is permitted, but for them the inner room is better than the house is better than the courtyard better than the mosque close to them, than the mosque of the Prophet. But they can pray, they can go to the mosque. If they pray at home, they can have a congregation. There's no problem at all. And a woman can lead the congregation according to the way hadith I mentioned.